Hello, this is Aya Farinelli, your Abundant Life Coach, and I am thrilled to be with you today. So we are talking about staying the course, right? Because you may have hit that bump in the road and you're just feeling like, I should never have started this, or this sucks, or I'm just throwing it all away. I don't know why I ever thought this was a good idea. Nah, we are not going to quit on our goal. We are not going to quit on our dreams. We are going to push forward, right? And one of the things that you want to do in order to make sure that you stay the course is you have got to identify these specific actions that are going to allow you to accomplish your goal, and then you have to prioritize them. Prioritize them is what you have to do, right? So again, I'm going to use saving money. Maybe you set a goal that, this year you're going to save $1,000 a month, and then of course, your cars need you hit a deer and your car needed all this repair, right? And then, if you're in Texas, you had a storm that caused some damage that you weren't quite expecting, and insurance isn't going to cover it, so now you've got to cover it. So, things have been cropping up, and it's like, I'm never going to get to where I can save this $1,000. I quit. I should have never set that up. What I want you to do is to actually think through what are the specific steps that I wanted to take or that I need to take in order to be able to accomplish this goal. So it could be, step one, I probably should make a budget. Step two, let's see where I can cut down on expenses, just little sacrifices I can make now. Maybe step three is, let me put aside a rainy day fund first. That way, when things crop up that are unexpected that I didn't budget for, my rainy day fund can cover that instead of this long-term savings plan that I have always being cut into or shortchanged, right? So really important if you want to stay the course to make sure that you've identified what steps you need to take to accomplish your goal, and then that you prioritize them, you actually schedule them. So many of us, if we have a meeting with someone else or a deadline at work, right, we're on it and we're just paying attention to the time, and I've got to get this in at this certain time, or maybe you're a student in school and I've got to get this paper done. But when it's an assignment or when it's a deadline that is personal, in other words, it's not some external person that set the deadline, you set the deadline for yourself, right? Then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'll get to it tomorrow, I'll get to it next week, I'll get to it next week, I'll get to it next week, that kind of thing. And you don't give it the same kind of urgency that you give other priorities, other things that have to get done. So what I'm going to say is, if you want to be able to stay the course in your life in terms of your goal, you have got to give your goals the same priority you give everything else for other people. So you may need to go on in your calendar and identify, on these days from this time to this time, I'm working on my goal. And that way, when someone calls and says, hey, you want to hang out? No. When someone calls and says, hey, can you do me a favor? No. Because you have something scheduled there and you are making yourself a priority. So for lots of people, they set goals, they know what it is that they need to do, but then they don't prioritize it, they don't schedule it. From now on, your promise to me and to yourself, right? I'm going to schedule it, and I'm not going to allow myself to just push it aside when other competing interests show up.